welcome to Getting Cloud Right, a series dedicated to helping you navigate your path to the cloud. Today we're going to discuss a topic that's important to almost every enterprise. With all these options for cloud to take, what's the right one for you? Helping me explore this topic today is Ken Wan, Director of Marketing for HP Helion. Ken, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
Tell me a little bit about what your role is at HP.
At HP, I do marketing for our cloud solutions, all focused around the Helion brand.
So let's start with talking about how enterprises are responding to this shift toward cloud computing. Specifically, how to make sense of all these different choices that are available today.
There are different choices out there. You know, people talk about doing private clouds or public clouds, and it becomes very, very confusing. You know, I've talked to a number of customers who ask, well, do I go do private cloud? Do I go do public clouds? I'm not quite sure what to do. And what I tell them is, you're actually asking the wrong question.
Okay.
The question isn't whether I should do one or the other. You should actually be doing both. And what we're seeing is that there's benefits to doing some workloads in the public cloud and other workloads in the private cloud. So you want what we call as a hybrid cloud environment, which takes the best of both worlds, both hybrid cloud and public cloud.
So I've heard this term hybrid cloud before. Tell me a little bit about it, what it really means.
What hybrid cloud means is having an environment where you can access both private cloud services and public cloud services. And your environment is set up such that the applications that work best in a public cloud automatically get provisioned into that public cloud environment. For the applications that work best in a private cloud, for example, where there's security compliance requirements, those get automatically implemented in a private cloud. And in fact, we even have some applications that are implemented both in a private and public cloud, where the web tier customer-facing applications are running in the public cloud, whereas the back-end database and applications, where all the data, all the secure customer data, the patient records, the credit card information, all of that is maintained in the back end. So there's different ways that people deploy and implement these hybrid clouds.
So that kind of approach, you get the security you need for all your client data, and yet the ability to access the broad network solutions that are available for the web part of it.
That's exactly right. You know, we were able to leverage both types of environments. You know, it's interesting because people often say, well, as I said, you know, do I do private or public? It's very, very common, or it's very synonymous to how we do computing at home, for example. You know, we have our favorite gaming computer where we do our amazing online gaming. We have a tablet where we'll use it to read books or to access the internet, and we'll have a mobile device, a cell phone, so we can access things on the go. So having different devices to support different requirements, and that's the exact same thing what we need for a hybrid cloud, where you have different environments for different uses and different workloads.
Isn't that a management nightmare, though? I mean, with the public here, private there?
That's one of the challenges of hybrid cloud, is that you need to ensure that you have a management environment that covers both your private clouds and your public clouds. And in fact, it's not just one private cloud and one public cloud. Most of our customers are implementing multiple private clouds, each which may have different security requirements, performance requirements, multiple private clouds and multiple public clouds as well. In fact, one of our customers, Union Reed, who's a service provider in China, does exactly that. And that they actually see, in talking to their customers, that what do I do? Do I do the private cloud, do the public cloud? In fact, their recommendation to customers is that they need to approach it as a hybrid cloud environment as well.
So how widespread is the use and deployment of hybrid environments today?
Well, we've seen some recent analyst reports around exactly this. TBR recently announced or recently published a report that said that 24% of their respondents were implementing a hybrid cloud. And in fact, as they sized the market, they said today the hybrid IT market, the hybrid computing market, is about an $8 billion market, growing to $14 billion by 2018. So lots of growth. We're also seeing a recent report from Wikibon that looks at the interest and growth and the value of going to a hybrid cloud environment. And they're recommending that for most enterprises, a hybrid cloud is the right approach for them as well.
So what are the benefits? Why?
This is an important question, is why do I go do a hybrid cloud? You know, we can look at all the regular benefits of just cloud computing,
Right.
which is fast access to services, right? And in the old days, it was to get a VM or a computing environment, the IT department would have to go out and buy a new server and then set it up and configure it. And this could take from weeks to months. Well, you're in a cloud computing environment, you get that in minutes.
Yeah, fast provisioning is what.
Fast provisioning, fast access, giving people a catalog to order the services so that you don't have to go talk to the IT guy anymore. You have a nice catalog online, just like we do online shopping.
Right.
You select which service you want, and then it automatically gets provisioned. So this is the basic value of any cloud environment.
Okay.
And as we look at hybrid cloud in particular, you get greater efficiency, because now you're using the right environment for the right type of workload.
Okay.
Right. So that efficiency, greater cost, greater use of resources is one of the powerful values of going to a hybrid cloud environment. You also get much better use of your internal resources. You know, traditionally, all your IT guys are supporting all of your IT services for the company. And by using a public cloud, now you can leverage all of those kinds of services, and then you don't have to have your IT staff kind of focused on building up those kinds of services. You can just get that from your public cloud services, and then you can have your internal folks focus on services that are greater value add, things that deliver greater differentiation or greater value to whatever it is your organization's trying to do. So better use of internal resources, another important benefit that people get from the hybrid cloud. You also tend to get greater scalability. You know, you have these situations where you need an incredible increase in resources supporting a particular application.
Christmas rush.
Christmas rush, end of the quarter, end of the month. You know, all companies experience some kind of big peaks demand in their applications. And it used to be that companies used to size their environments to be able to handle these big increases in demand, which means that all of their applications are heavily over-provisioned, all the infrastructure supporting them. Well, with a hybrid cloud environment, now you can burst out to those public cloud environments to handle that big demand, that big Christmas rush, everyone ordering everything from your website for that short period of time, the weeks or days when that's happening, and then you can reduce your infrastructure supporting that application as your demand reduces. So what that allows you to do is to be able to better manage your costs and better manage the infrastructure requirements. So that's another big thing is that greater scalability.
And how does that impact the financial aspect of it? I mean,
this is another really big important factor that customers are looking for, is that they're trying to shift to less of a CapEx model and more to OpEx. So the old model of I wanted to buy all this equipment, stand it all up, configure it, and then we provide the services. People don't really want that. What they want to be able to do is to match their cost to their use. So this hybrid cloud environment allows you to do that. It allows you to leverage your public cloud services, which allows you to shift more towards a OpEx model that allows you to better match your financial your financial budgets to your use.
so ultimately you get a better TCO, better return on your IT investment.
Better return on your investment, better use of your dollars, better alignment of demand to your IT budgets.
Okay, I'm ready to go shopping for my hybrid cloud. What are some of the features and functionality I should be looking for?
There's lots of things we can be looking at, but let's just talk about the three most important things.
Okay.
As you're looking at a hybrid cloud, what's very critical is that you have a management environment that can support multiple private clouds, multiple public clouds, all with a single environment, all with providing the right access rights to the right services. For example, your finance department, you want to give them the access to services that they need, but you don't want to give them access to the services the R&D guys need.
Right.
So you need a management environment that provides you the ability to provide the right services to the right user, and that the applications and the services can be implemented in the right application, right environment, whether that's a private cloud or a public cloud.
Okay.
So that management environment is critical.
That's number one.
That's number one. The second very important thing you need to be looking at in an environment is making sure that it is future-proof, or they can grow with your needs.
Okay.
What we're seeing a lot is that people are starting off in fairly small projects with cloud because they're just trying to figure it out. They need to understand how it's going to impact and benefit the organization. Most experiences we see is that there's a huge increase in usage because they find so much value in implementing that hybrid cloud. So it becomes very important to create an environment, create that hybrid cloud environment that can scale with your demand as it increases in use over time.
Okay.
So future-proofing is critical.
And what's the third?
The third is around managing complex environments. Now, IT is very complicated. You know, we like to say, oh, it's simple, you just order these services, these VMs come up, it's easy. The fact is, reality is it's really complicated. You know, most IT organizations are built out of many custom environments, each which have their own software stacks, their own hardware stack, very, very complicated. So it becomes very important to look for a partner, a vendor, products that can handle very complex environments.
So to do that, what are some of the best practices you can offer IT leaders who are trying to move into a hybrid cloud environment?
We've implemented a lot of hybrid clouds. We've been shipping and helping customers implement hybrid cloud environments for over 5 years now. So out of all of these experiences and all these engagements that we've helped customers with, we've identified a few things that it's really important to think about when you're planning and implementing your hybrid cloud. You know, the first thing you need to think about is to start off with a private cloud.
Okay.
We find that the best practice is let's just start off with creating something internal. What that helps is your organization understand what cloud computing is, how to use it, what the benefits are in your particular situation. To start off with a private cloud, and then broaden that out to incorporate public cloud services, creating that hybrid cloud. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that it's important to have an open environment. You know, we're in this interesting time in the development of cloud computing where we're shifting from a more proprietary approach to a more open approach. And we see this in a lot of technologies where when the technology first comes out, you have proprietary kinds of technologies because it's new, and then over time the industry shifts to more standard offerings,
like
standard technology. OpenStack is a great example of that. You know, we have a lot of customers today who are primarily deploying on VMware, Hyper-V types of environments, traditional virtualized environments, but huge interest in looking to move into an OpenStack environment. Now, so it becomes very important to have an architecture that supports both your current environment as well as being able to give you the ability to move into a more open environment using OpenStack, Cloud Foundry, Docker technologies.
Right.
So that's just the software. That's from a cloud management standpoint. There's all these open source technologies that are becoming popular, but it's also you need to pay attention to your cloud management software. So one of the things you want to be able to do is you want to be able to bring different vendors' software management tools, performance management, asset management, financial management tools in. So the cloud management software needs to be designed to integrate with other vendor software through APIs. And you also need to look under the infrastructure as well. You know, some customers like to source all of their infrastructure from one company. We're seeing a big increase in demand in converged systems, types of offerings, server stores, networking, all integrated from one vendor. But some people have standardized on a Cisco networking or EMC storage. And so you have to have an architecture that allows you to support different hardware as well. So having that open architecture at all levels, whether that's the hardware side, the cloud management side, or the cloud, the infrastructure management from an OpenStack and development standpoint is very important.
Okay.
Security is a huge, huge thing. In fact, we know that security is the top concern of most customers. Anyone that we go talk to, that I go talk to, their question is, well, how do I make sure my cloud's secure? And what's important to think about is that you're going to have a cloud computing environment, this hybrid environment with lots of different services, and some services will require certain security policies. Other services will require different security policies. So you have the situation where you have different security requirements across your computing environment, as well as it's very dynamic. So you order a service, it gets created, you have to put the right security policies around it. When that's done, that gets shut down, and then someone orders another environment. So these two situations that you need to think about, this dynamic aspect of cloud computing and the fact that you have different environments requiring different security policies, require a different approach to security for cloud environments. So that's another key thing, is let's make sure that we're designing security from the beginning that support the different types of dynamic services that you're going to be needing.
Okay.
A big part of this is not the technology. In fact, all the customers I talk to talk about how they get the technology, we'll figure out how to make it work. But it's more the people and the process. This is a big challenge. You know, a lot of us have grown up around developing and working with traditional IT environments.
Yes.
And it's not, all the processes, all of our organizational structures within the IT organization are all based on traditional IT applications. Well, now we're switching to this cloud computing environment with automation, these self-service catalogs. It has dramatic impact on how companies should be, or IT organizations should be organized, as well as the roles of people within the organization. So we need to pay a lot of attention to the business processes. In a lot of cases, those will need to be updated and changed, as well as your people and how to manage and help them become more skillful in this new hybrid cloud world.
Thanks so much, Ken. Before we wrap up, why don't you just recap the benefits that customers get by looking at a hybrid environment?
So by looking at a hybrid environment, you get much greater efficiency. Again, because you're looking at multiple deployment environments, whether that's a private cloud or a public cloud. You get much better scalability than you would otherwise. You are able to manage your budget better because you're able to shift from more of a CapEx model to an OpEx model. So these are some of the great things that you'll get by moving to a hybrid cloud environment.
Terrific. Thanks so much. I'd like to invite all of you, if you'd like to find out more about hybrid cloud computing, to take a look at the Frost & Sullivan white paper. You'll see the URL, so go ahead and find it and enjoy it. Thank you for being here today. For HP Helion, this is Michael Krieger.